Hi, everyone. My name is Brian Elliott. I am looking at mental health integration in public school settings. Kind of give you guys a background about myself. I've had the opportunity to earn my BSW from Alaverdia University. After that, I went on to earn my master's in management with a concentration in nonprofit management from Wilmington University. After I completed my MSW or my master's in management, I went on to complete my master's of social work from Quinnipiac University. Um, and then now I'm working on my doctorate in social work at University of New England, which I've been doing since January 2025. And it's been a great experience so far. It's kind of give you an idea of who Brian Elliott is. I've predominantly been a school social worker. So currently, I'm working at a Sussex Technical School District in Georgetown, Delaware, where I'm acting as the McKinney Vento liaison, foster care liaison. I'm doing some clinical work with students. I do the mediation for the school when students are in conflict. And I kind of fill various other roles with doing a lot of community engagement and working with other partners and things like that. So, looking at the educational side of social work that I've been doing, I've been at Rutland Middle School as well. And then I've also been at Wilberforce High School, which is what I did as my internship when I was getting my MSW. Outside of that, I have worked as an outpatient psychotherapist with Community Health Rutland Regions. And I've also served active duty Coast Guard with the United States Coast Guard, serving on the Coast Guard Cutter Confidence as well as the AIDS navigation team in Philadelphia. So, kind of giving an understanding of why I'm looking at mental health integration in school settings is one, I work in school settings. So for me, it's kind of ties into directly what I'm doing with my job and work every day. So there are so many different ways you can look at mental health integration as a whole within school settings, but also looking at it in terms of in August of 2022, Delaware passed House Bill 301 that requires public school students to have a mental health curriculum um, directly incorporating their curriculum through the school district, and that's starting in kindergarten and going all the way up to 12th grade. So looking at that, it's kind of examining, what is curriculum for mental health? Like, what does that look like to instruct students on curriculum for mental health? Trying to develop best practices for those that curriculum in mental health. Trying to develop like a proper curriculum order with, students start here, 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 but also like how can that expand? Like, how can that expand into like community work and other things that we're looking at for mental health integration in these school settings so that we are that way we're best supporting the students in what they need and what they need to know for their own mental health needs and their own mental health. um, so some of the key words that have come up is strategies to integrate mental health in school settings and concerns that prevent mental health in school settings. So, and the strategies that to integrate mental health in school settings, you're looking at collaboration with mental health professionals, and you're looking at mental health training for school staff. So these things are examining, the best practices on integrating mental health with school and how can it can be more efficient and more effective. While the concerns that come up for integrating school mental health resources is the stigma related to mental health, how cost effective it is for mental health. So, throughout the research that I've been doing so far, you can kind of see, the collaboration in mental health and the mental health training and the stigma and the cost effectiveness of mental health have kind of been themes that have been coming up, but they also kind of play into each other, right? So, like, you'll have stigma related to mental health, then you also have the mental health training or collaboration with mental health professionals to prevent stigma from being a conflict. And you have the cost effectiveness as well. Like, what are different strategies with collaborating with outside agencies to make it more cost effective? Or what mental health trainings can staff already within the school or organizations that are willing to do it for free outside in the community able to do to make mental health integration more effective? So this isn't the best depiction of these things, these kind of how they play into each other. But it is kind of like this, they all flow and feed into each other in a way that, this is a concern, but these strategies to integrate allow it to be more effective um, in school settings. So they all feed into each other and play off of each other in a way. But those are the kind of the keywords that have come up so far. Um, Key pieces of information so far is just again looking at the mental health training for school staff should be collaborative with mental health professionals. So again, it's they're flowing into each other, right? So you're looking at how when you examine mental health training for the school staff, it allows the schools to be able to better identify students that may be having mental health concerns, mental health challenges, or struggling with mental health because they're more equipped to do these things, but you're also using that mental health professionals to integrate and assist or the other school staff in order to provide them with the training that they need to address the mental health concerns with students. Providing training on cultural competence helps staff understand diverse backgrounds of their students and how cultural factors can influence mental health. So then, in this kind of having the training from mental health professionals to the teachers will play into how stigma is addressed within the settings. So again, all these things are feeding into each other and playing off each other in some type of way. And strategies for involving uh, families and community and mental health initiatives to create a supportive network for students. So again, you're looking at mental health professionals in the community working with the schools to then address stigma or other issues that may be coming up so far with creating mental health resources for students. So again, these are all like a cycle where they're kind of feeding into each other, playing off each other, and working to best assist mental health integration within these school settings. So all of these things are key factors that are needed to be addressed in order to best integrate mental health resources within the school setting. So, in conclusion, it has been identified that two-thirds of school-age youth experience significant adverse childhood events. So this means that from K to 12, from kindergarten to 12th grade, there is a high level, more than 50% of these students are struggling with some type of childhood event that they may or may not be receiving mental health support for. The statistic shows that there is a need for mental health integration within school settings to better address these issues and support students and their families. This really shows how the state of Delaware was justified in enacting or passing House Bill 31 as it ensures students are taking steps to better support, or schools are taking steps to better support students within the state so that way their mental health crisis can be better addressed at a lower level. And you're providing the schools with the encouragement to better address all these mental health needs that are coming up. So, the state of Delaware has definitely taken the proper, appropriate steps in doing this. But I will say that the state of Delaware has left the law up for a lot of interpretation. So the curriculum can be very vast in how they want to implement it. So that leaves a lot of school districts in a place where they're kind of able to do whatever they want. And I think it's important to create these best practices for mental health integration in order for there can be some consistency and some type of knowledge about what's the best way to support and assist students that may be having mental health challenges. So, um, thank you for your time. These are the references that I have used so far in my research. As it continues to go through this research, I'm sure this list will continue to expand.